Good evening. My name is Mark Shaw. I'm the author of The Keeper of the Wind and also the guy who came up with the hashtag Indie Books Be Seen. First of all, I want to thank everybody who supported the movement so far, who's been behind me 200%. I need you, and I definitely need more. I want to talk a little bit about what made me come up with Indie Books Be Seen. When I first put my book out and I came online, I noticed social media was pretty saturated with indie authors like myself, basically begging people to just take a look at their book, giving them away free, cheap, at 99 cents, the whole deal. And I felt like it's got to be a better way of doing this. It can't be just like this. Um, so create a person, and I started brainstorming of different ways to you know to do to promote. And I was thinking, I think if we promoted the industry more, then it would shine light on everyone's book. It would shine light on everything indie. If I could make indie trendy, then it could be more like an old thing, but the new thing. It could compete with mainstream. Um, these were my thoughts. So I came up with Indie Books Be Seen to give authors like myself, trying to get people to look at their book, to shine. If not for one day, everyone come together, you put your books up, and everybody retweets everyone's book. Um, it was a bigger success than I thought it would be, to be totally honest with you. I was hoping it would be big, but it was pretty huge. I think what really touched me is how a lot of people generally reached out and tried to help others. A lot of people retweeted till their hands fell off, me being one of them, because they wanted to help the other man. I felt like if I can get everyone on board like this, then we could do some big things as an industry. But you got to look at it as an industry first. We can't go about this as just individuals hustling their book or pockets of groups helping each other hustle each other's group books. I just don't think it'll go far that way. I think you may get some, looks, and you may sell some books, but I think the bulk of us will still have problems. I think some people are doing well. Some people don't need this. Some people are doing quite well. They're very savvy at this marketing promotion thing, and that's fine. If you don't need us, that's good because we want to be where you are. So this is for the people like myself who are trying to get their books out, who are trying to be seen, who want a fighting chance to make a decent living doing this, and not have to still work two, three jobs. Plus, you got to come home and promote your book and that. Um, I think we can do better than that. But we have to look at it as an industry. We have to change the mindset. There's this hustle mentality. Me. You got to get my book, take my book. And I think that you have to look at this differently. You have to look at this as a collective. What can we do as an industry to make people want to look at us as a collective? Mainstream, they got their stuff down pat. From the moment you sign with them, it's smooth sailing. We got to scramble and beg, and I don't like that. I don't like having to, you know, kiss literary agents' asses. A lot of them I feel like are very arrogant because they have that power. Not all, but I feel like a lot of them are. And I would love to bypass that and have us come up with our own stuff as indie, as an industry, as an indie industry. Um, I believe that we can do a lot of things. We can have our own commercials if we really wanted to. Um, I've been trying to entice indie filmmakers to make films with indie titles, and we back each other. There are a lot of things we can do, and I have a ton of ideas. And I believe me, I'm working a couple of them right now behind the scenes to try to lift us up. Um, the one thing that really bothered me was the last challenge we did. Um, find an indie author who needed reviews or who needed a hand, and I felt we fell short, and I felt like a lot of us are so self-absorbed into our own promotion that they just didn't really fathom doing it, or they didn't feel like going to read or look or find someone who needed it. And I felt like that's the wrong attitude to have. The plans I have in the future for indie publishers, for indie authors, is big. If we can't do little things to uplift each other as an industry, there's no way in the world I can introduce the other stuff I'm thinking about doing. It's small steps, but every step is a step to something big. But you have to see it as something big. If you can't see it as something big, and we continue to do things how we're doing, a lot of people aren't going to do well. I read an article saying keep your day job if you're an indie author. I don't agree with that. I think there are a lot of people who take advantage of indie authors because they know they need certain resources. We need reviews. I was surprised that more authors didn't want to help in that with that process, because I would think if one thing we have in common, and that would be that when we first started out, we really needed reviews. So I felt that to be a little selfish, and I want to change that mindset because I believe indie can be trendy, and I'm going to work hard to do my part. This ain't just for me. This is for everybody. I'm not out here plugging away, coming up with crazy ideas, thinking outside the box of how we could be great. There are a lot of great, talented indie authors and writers who aren't getting their just due. And if it's up to me, they will. I'm just one man. I need help. I have some really good support. People who have been there from the time I started this. Indie Books Be Seen is just starting. It's growing. I believe I'm up to about 2,000 supporters now, and it's going to grow. By the time the next July 1st next year come and we have our next Indie Books Be Seen Day, it's going to be huge. But I have something even bigger. But before I even get there, we have to do the small things. We have to come together. We have to make time for each other and help each other. I know some of you guys help others. I do know this. I would not sit here and say, well, no one helps other. I know some of you do, but a lot of you don't. So I need to change your mindsets. I need to look at you to look at this as an industry and think of ways that we could take this and we can run with it. We can compete with the big boys. More people can make money across the board, at least enough to subsidize their life. I know some of you do it for the love, but some of you don't. A lot of you don't. You wish you could make something. I'm doing this because I feel like we can be bigger than we are, and we will. And I'll keep plugging away at it. I'll add these video updates every now and again, just to let you know what's going on and what I'm thinking. And I hope you support me because I'm trying to support you. I think we can be big. Stand with me. We'll make it happen. Thank you. Mark Shaw signing out.